And Russell Crowe leans over to me and he says, he's putting the 100mm lens in the camera. I'm like, yeah. He's like, if I were you, I'd be scared shitless. So here in Pittsburgh, you know, I've been fortunate enough when I moved to Pittsburgh to do a lot of film and TV work here. And there's been a lot, you know, especially before the pandemic, there was a lot of film and television work here. And gosh, when was this? This was probably, it's got to be close to 10 years ago, eight years ago now. They shot a movie here called Fathers and Daughters. Starring Russell Crowe, and I auditioned for a role, John Wilton, which was is a lawyer who Russell Crowe's character hires for a custody battle, and so I had 2 scenes, and one of the scenes, or 3 scenes actually, one of the scenes, but the 2 of the scenes were with Russell Crowe, so I was really excited because I'm always been a big admirer of Russell Crowe, you know, all of his work and his talent and skill as an actor. So I was like, wow, this is, you know, this is great. And you know, shoot day comes. We get to set. It's myself, John Shepard, who used to also teach at Point Park. We're in the scene. We're both lawyers, and so it's going to be me sitting at the head of the table, Russell Crowe sitting right here, John sitting over there about as far as I am from you. So it's me and Russell Crowe right here. And so, you know, they do a couple of setups, you know, and we run the scene a couple of times, and they're using a new, very mobile camera, a very small camera. I forget what it's called right now. But they did one dolly shot where they start at that end of the table and they come around and then come down the table here, you know, panning the camera down, and they end on me. So that it starts with a 2-shot between me and Russell Crowe, and then ends, you know, in this 2-shot. So it's framing us the whole time. So we go through and we do the scene a couple of times that way, and then they say cut, and they're doing something with the camera over there, and I'm you know, I forget what I was doing, I was just, you know, relaxing and whatever. And I look over there and they're changing the lenses, and Russell Crowe leans over to me and he says he's putting the 100mm lens in the camera. I'm like, yeah. He's like, that means it's going to be extreme close-up on you. I'm like, yeah. Now, I said yeah, and I'm like, oh shit. But I'm like, yeah. He's like, if I were you, I'd be scared shitless. And I said, oh, that's okay. I always think the camera's close-up on me. And he looked and he was like, and then he just bursts out laughing. You know, he was trying to, I think he was trying to rattle me. He was just trying to get under my skin. But without a beat, you know, I was like, I'm not gonna let this guy rattle me. Without a beat, I said, well, I always think the camera's close up on me.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you're Russell Crowe, but they're here to see me today. But yeah, it was good because he had a huge laugh about that, and I would like to think that he probably never ever thought about that again.
Perfect.
But that was a good fun day on set for everybody. And he was great to work with. He was, you know, you hear stories about people. And, you know, when you do hear stories about people on sets, you don't know everything that's going on, you know, and you come on set one day to do your role, and the lead in the show is, you know, they've been on, you know, they've been away from home, living out of a trailer or out of a hotel room for a month or 6 weeks, and they're feeling pressure, or they're, you know, something's going on in their personal life and they're far away and they can't do anything about it, and then, you know, you try to say hi and they're like, you know, they'll give you the time of day, and then people say, oh, that person's rude. You know, people are people, you know, famous actors are still, they've got to, you know, they've got their own personal stuff that they got to deal with. But he was really, really nice to John and myself that day. He was, I think he probably does treat the other actors pretty well, but he had a fun moment there, and I had a fun moment sort of giving it back to him.
Hi, my name is Lucas Pacheco, and I want to thank you for watching our first episode of Callback. Please consider subscribing so we can bring in more professionals like Jason to give their best stories about the industry. Thanks, and have a good day.